Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to use a memory bank in this Survivalcraft. In the previous video I showed you how to use 4-bit counters, and a memory bank is very similar, but first of all I want to show you how to run the 4-bit counters using this wave generator. So right here I have essentially on the left is a delay gate, which is adjustable, so you can set how fast your memory is accessed, is what all that does. And it's hooked up in a loop, and essentially just once you press the button once, it'll just keep outputting every amount of time that you've put into the delay gate. So that's all that does. And then to the right of that you'll see a switch, and all that does is it's a master switch. When you turn it on, you'll have an output to the counters, and when it's off, you won't. So essentially, all you do is press this button, and that starts flashing. You know that it's looping through here, and set it 0.25 seconds. So every 0.25 seconds, this changes, and this is turned off, so there's no output. And when I turn this on, there will be an output. So that goes to here, and it runs to the back, and goes to this one right here, the very right there. So that does is when I get a signal here, it'll increment this 4-bit counter as explained in the previous video, and it'll change this number here. It'll keep going up 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, keep going to F, and that'll access whichever column is in the memory bank. So in the memory bank there is each one of these is a column. This is the 0 column, 1 column, 2 column, all the way to F. There's 16 columns. So every time that this increments, it accesses a different one of these columns. So on 0 it'll access this column, then this column, then this column. And once this goes through all 16, it sends a signal through here and increments this one. And this one controls which row it's on. And it originally starts off at 0. And so when it's at 0, it'll access this row, and then the next time it increments, it'll go through this row. So what happens is it'll go through this one, then this one, then this one, all the way to the end, and then it'll trigger and access this row, and it'll start doing it again. So essentially it runs through this one, and then this one, and this one, all the way down. And I just put numbers in here so you could see what's happening more or less. And what you put in there is up to what you're using this memory bank for. And the purpose of this video is essentially how to access the memory inside, not what to do with it. That's a little more complex. And essentially, so I'll output it here, and I'm outputting there. It's incrementing this one, and once it goes through F, it passes over that one. And as you can see, it's accessing different bits of information over here. Is changing. And that's pretty much all there is to it. The only thing I haven't shown you yet is how to reset the clock. So to reset the clock, things get a little screwy sometimes. If you try to reset it while it's running, sometimes it'll like give you an extra increment somewhere. And the first one, which is fine in this simple one, but if you use more complex things, stuff can happen. So just turn it off before you reset it is an easy thing to do. And this reset button, what it does is it resets the counters back to 0 and 0, and that way your memory will start again from the beginning next time you decide to run it. So if I press the button, I have it set to there and there. Those run to the back of these 4-bit counters as explained in the previous video, and it resets them to 0. That's really all there is to it. And I'll see if I can provide a link in the description to this world that I made, and you can check this out for yourself. Hope this helps.